Are these Bible devotions? These are interfaith and inspirational, so every reference to Christ and Christianity uses a biblical reference. In the beginning was God, today is God, tomorrow will be God. Who can make an image of God? He has no body. He is the word which comes out of your mouth. That word, it is no more. It is past and still it lives. So is God. Find out why many people are taking part in inspirational gatherings. I see no stranger, I see no enemy. Wherever I look, God is all I see. I don't think of us and them. No one do I hate or condemn. I see God's image, each one a friend. Of any religion, caste, or race, all I see is God's shining face. His smiling face, his gracious face. I accept as beautiful all his design. I learn this truth in Sagat Divine. All are welcome. Abdu'l-Baha explains pure and radiant hearts are dawning places of the mention of God, inspirational gatherings, devotionals, from which the melodies of the supplication and prayer continually reach the concourse on high. And he states that should the hearts of the friends become divine temples, through the bounty of God, they would assuredly exert the utmost endeavor to build these inspirational gatherings, the devotionals, so that the outward frame may reveal the inward reality, and the outer form give tidings of the inner meaning. All are welcome. Honoring all the children. Verily with exceeding joy, with heart and soul, do these oppressed of thine offer themselves up to all mankind in every land. Thou seest them, O my Lord, weeping over the tears thy people shed, mourning the grief of thy children, condoling with humankind, suffering because of the calamities that beset all the denizens of the earth. It is my desire that I may hear thy sweet voice like the north wind, that my limbs may be quickened with life. Through love of thee, give me thy hands, holding thy spirit, that I may receive it, and may live by it. Call thou upon my name throughout eternity, and it shall never fail. The dialogue about missing and murdered First Nations women is important if we're to build a community we all feel we belong in. It's a hard discussion and a difficult one, even traumatic to hear. Our Aboriginal sisters have had to go through this trauma. We can learn how they deal with being traumatized and can draw on their strength. If it is too much to bear, you can mute everything for the duration of the next slide. Bernie is not an elder. Her role in life is as a land defender and peacekeeper, but she takes her role as a grandmother at the National Inquiry very seriously. Her most important focus is on supporting the families and survivors. She says it comes down to being a humble servant, lending a hand and making sure the families, the commissioners, the staff, and everyone else are okay. Think over again my small adventures, my fears, these small ones that seem so big, for all the vital things I had to get and reach. And yet there is only one great thing, the only thing, to live to see the great day that dawns and the light that fills the world. Do Black Lives Matter? Most certainly, for they are the pupil of the eye of humanity. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful, praise be to God, the cherisher, the sustainer of the worlds, the most gracious, most merciful, master of the day of judgment. Thee do we worship, and thine aid we seek. Show us the straight way, the way of those on whom thou hast bestowed thy grace, those whose portion is not wrath, and who go not astray. Magnified art thou, O Lord my God. I ask of thee by thy name, which thou hast set up above all other names, through which the veil of heaven has been split asunder, and the day star of thy beauty hath risen above the horizon, shining with the brightness of thy name, the exalted, the Most High, to succor me with thy wondrous help, to preserve me in the shelter of thy care and protection. In the Kitabi Akdas, Baha'u'llah's Book of Laws, Baha'u'llah calls attention to the potency of reciting the verses of God in inspirational gatherings, the devotionals. Teach your children the verses revealed from the heaven of majesty and power, so that in most melodious tones they may recite the tablets of the All-Merciful in the alcoves within the inspirational gathering, the devotional. Whoever has been transported by the rapture born of adoration of my name, the most compassionate, will recite the verses of God in such wise as to captivate the hearts of those yet wrapped in slumber. Well is it with him who hath quaffed the mystic wine of everlasting life from the utterance of his merciful Lord in my name, a name through which every lofty and majestic mountain hath been reduced to dust. Make a list of your friends and invite them to this devotional, or devotional you begin. It is a gift from you to them. The House of Justice elucidates the theme of the power of prayer, explaining that the twin luminaries have taught us that prayer is the essential spiritual conversation of the soul with its Maker, direct and without intermediation, the morning dew that brings freshness to the heart and cleanses it, and a fire that burns away the veils, and a light that leads to the ocean of reunion with the Almighty. The quality of prayer is pivotal. Upon it depend the development of the limitless capacities of the soul and the attraction of the bounties of God. When it is motivated by the love of God, its powers are manifest, it is to be expressed. The devotional you begin can be as simple as phoning a friend and sharing a prayer with them. They may be sick and need a healing prayer, struggling and need to share is there any remover of difficulties prayer. It is a gift from you to them. The House of Justice continues with a sincere and pure heart, conducive to contemplation and meditation, so that the rational faculty can be illumined by its effects. Such prayers will transcend the limitations of words and go well beyond mere sounds. The sweetness of its melodies must gladden and uplift the heart, reinforce the penetrating power of the word, transmuting earthly inclinations into heavenly attributes and inspiring selfless service to mankind. How is the growing culture of worship and service contributing to the transformation of the lives of people in your local area? You're welcome to our Interfaith Inspirational Gathering, Health Science Center, Winnipeg, noon Central Time.